Hi everyone, and welcome to Creative Chelsey. If you like this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up or commenting below. If you want to see more of my videos, press the subscribe button and click on the bell for notifications. If you need any Stampin' Up! Products to make this card, you can visit my online store and the link is in the description box below. When you purchase Stampin' Up! Products through me, you can earn free products. Check out my current customer appreciation products on my blog, and the link is listed below in the description. Today I'd like to share with you my third alternative project using the June 2021 Paper Pumpkin Kit called Expressions in Color. You can see here that it creates 3 cards, 3 of each of the 3 designs, and here are those cards now. And if you're interested in seeing me put these cards together or what's in this box, you can click on the playlist and go to my unboxing video. If you'd like to watch my other alternative cards, you can also click on the playlist and you will be linked to those cards that I've made as well. All of my cards that I've created for this month's Paper Pumpkin Kit are fun fold cards. And so we've done 2 really fun designs, and make sure to check those out later. This fun one is kind of a peekaboo design. And so on the inside, you see this really beautiful circle, which also is shown on the outside of the card. And so I'm excited to share with you today on how to create this beautiful card. So let's go ahead and get started. So the things you're going to need from the kit include the Bumblebee Cardbase, and then a couple pieces that we have used on some of our first alternative projects. So the first one is some of the fresh Freesia Cardbase that's left over from card number 1. You're going to need the pink leaf as well as the green leaf, and those are left over from card number 2. You'll need the Vellum Thanks that comes in the kit, and then you're going to need the leaf vellum piece. Now this one is came from a full sheet, and so all you do is you just cut that full sheet in half. So you can see here there's that full sheet. So some of the other things you're going to need to finish this card would be just some basic white cardstocks for some stamping and coloring. You're going to want a large circle die. This is about 3 inches in diameter. And then you're also going to need something to color in the floral images. And I'm using Stampin' Blend markers in the new In Colors. So this card is actually pretty easy to create. So all you do is you first design the card how you want. And so I'm going to begin by adding the vellum piece down here at the bottom. And again, I've been using liquid adhesive to add my vellum. And I just kind of spread it out with a little tissue just to kind of keep it from showing on the front. And then I'm adding that to the bottom part of my card here, just to give it a little bit of texture and design to that solid Bumblebee card base. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add my other elements. So I have this fun piece here. This is the leaf piece, and I'm just going to place it right in the center. Use a little liquid adhesive or glue dots to kind of tack it down. You do want to kind of do as many of the leaves as you can, since there's a chance we could be cutting part of that leaf off when we add the circle. You're kind of wanting it in the center, so you'll want it to look something like that. And then we're going to add the pink one as well. And we just want that to kind of come off to the side a little bit to kind of fill in a little more of that open area. So it should look something like that. We'll let that dry a minute, and then we're going to cut that out using our circle die. So I stamped the flowers that I'm using in Evening Evergreen. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink up, and we're going to do 3 of these large flowers. And you don't need to ink up any of the leaf images, just focus on the flower, because we're going to be fussy cutting out just the flower. And then I did 5 of the small flower. So for coloring, I wanted to use the new In Colors, mainly because that's the color scheme that Stampin' Up! Went with for these cards. So for my large flowers, I wanted these to be in Fresh Freesia. So I'm going to start with the light, and I'm just going to color the whole thing in with light Fresh Freesia. And then I wanted it to have kind of that same look as the leaves. And so you can see here that the leaves have some dark and light areas to them. And so I took my dark alcohol marker, that's the Fresh Freesia, and I just added a couple dots of color. So it kind of, there's no rhyme or reason, I just added it all over, and it kind of creates that soft, just a soft texture that goes well with the leaf images. And so I'm going to go ahead and do those other two just like that. And then for the small flowers, I started with the light of the polished pink, and then did exactly the same thing. Took the dark polished pink and just kind of randomly added some little dots of darker color. Now, if it doesn't blend out just automatically, you can go back and just kind of pat in a little more color from the light to kind of help it blend a little bit more. But that's kind of what the look we're going for. And then for the center of each flower, I did use the dark pale papaya. All right, so I'm going to turn off the camera. I'll finish coloring, and then we are going to fussy cut these out as well. Okay, so I've colored all those in, and now all you need to do is fussy cut out each of the flowers. And we want them to be right up against the outline, so there's no space between the outline and the cut line. And the reason for this is just because we are removing this image from a it's like a section of a larger image, and so we want it to feel, we don't want it to feel like something's missing from it. And if we were to do a border, we would see some of those other images inside that border. So a nice tight fussy cut is kind of what we're looking for. And as you can see, it's really not too difficult since it's a pretty simple outline. So I've gone ahead and I've done that to all of my flowers here. Okay, so I've got my 3-inch die cut circle here. So then you just want to take that circle and kind of eyeball where the center is, and then add some washi tape. And you want to add the washi tape to both the inside and outside edge of your circle. So I'm going to cut it to be something like this. And I looked for this pink flower or leaf image. I want that to be on the inside of my circle and not coming out on the outside. And I don't really care about some of these other images being on the outside. So I'm going to run this. I'm going to open it up like this so that I don't cut my back piece. And I'm going to run it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. All right, so I have cut that out. I'm going to keep the washi tape on it while I add dimensionals to the back of the circle. So I want to add a couple dimensionals just to make sure that there's it's nice and supported, and it also has that fun pop-up look to it when I open up the card. And then you're just going to take the back and you're just going to add it right over those dimensionals. And now we can go ahead and remove the washi tape and die cut. Okay, so now you can open and close that circle and have that fun pop-up look to it. And it looks great on the inside and the outside. Next, we're going to work on the strip. And so I've got my Fresh Freesia that came from card number 1. And I'm going to just cut off a 1/2 inch strip by 4.5 inches. And then I'm going to take that strip and cut banners from each end using my Banners Pick-a-Punch. And that's going to give me this really nice purple strip that I can now add behind my thanks. And that's going to give my thanks some support over that opening. So I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid adhesive like I have been doing with my other vellum pieces right to the center of that word, and then with a little tissue paper just kind of spread it out a little bit and then add it over just so a little bit is coming off the bottom, but most of it is on that purple piece. So it's going to look something like that. And then this is going to get popped up right above my vellum with some dimensionals on each side. And then you don't put anything in the middle. And then I didn't put it right on top of the vellum. I did leave a gap. And that's just so that it's a little more centered in the circle. Okay, so you can see how that works out and looks good. All right, so now it's time to add our flowers and our embellishments. I'm going to begin by adding a bow made with the evening evergreen twine that came in the kit. And I'm just going to add it right here at the base of my flowers, or of my circle, and it's just going to have a flower put over it. So I'm just going to place that there at the base. It's going to kind of swoop down a little bit, and then take one of my large flowers, and I'm just going to tuck that underneath my thanks and place it on the twine. So it's really important that the flower, which has a dimensional underneath it, is not attached to the circle here. So just make sure that you place it on the front of the card. And then I'm going to take one of the small pink flowers, and right here I'm going to add that to the circle. So it's kind of like behind everything, just like that. Then I've got another purple flower with a dimensional right near the K, and that goes on the circle. And then I'm going to do another small one that kind of is off the circle, just about there. You can see here's my design that I'm following. And then I'm going to take another small pink flower, and I'm going to place it about here on the circle, so that we have some flowers on the circle and then some that are just along the front of our card as well. And then the last large purple down in the bottom corner with a couple pink flowers near it. And then my last thing I'm going to add are some of the clear sequins that came in the kit. I'm going to place just a couple on the outside of my card. And then if I wanted to, I could place some on the inside as well. And then the very last thing that we're going to add is the greeting. So it's going to say thanks for everything, and that gets hidden underneath our thanks. I've added some dimensionals to the back and stamped it on a 1/2 inch strip, and that's just going to go right behind the thanks. There we go. So just like that. So it says thanks for everything. And our card is all done. I hope you enjoyed watching me create this beautiful alternative card today. If you're interested in receiving your own paper pumpkin kit, please subscribe using the link in the description below. If you'd like to receive written instructions on how to create this card or close-up images, you can visit my blog at creativechelsey.com. Thanks so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye.